Thank you very much and a warm welcome to the weather desk. Take a look at our weather for today into our detailed forecast for most provinces. Fine conditions expected to persist over the central as well as the western parts, but remains partly cloudy over the eastern areas with some morning fog patches over the eastern half of the Eastern Cape into KwaZulu-Natal, the escarpments of Mpumalanga as well as the eastern parts of Limpopo. Remember that it can reduce some visibility on the road, so do take caution. A 30% is still expected of drizzle along the escarpments of Mpumalanga as well as the eastern parts of Limpopo. For tomorrow, isolated to a scattered chance of showers and rain is mainly along the east coast, covering the eastern half of the Eastern Cape into KwaZulu-Natal. Partly cloudy conditions will mostly spread over most parts of the southern parts and still remain in the northeastern parts, with fine conditions over most parts of the central and the western parts of the country. For tomorrow, for today, still expecting most parts of the central and western parts to be conducive for felt fires, so do take caution and make sure not to start any unnecessary fires. And should you see any fires, report them to your necessary authorities. Let's take a look at our detailed forecast for today. Gauteng province, warm over most parts of the province and fine conditions. No precipitation is expected for today. Pretoria will peak at a maximum of 30 and Johannesburg will reach a maximum of 29 for this afternoon. In Limpopo, quite warm over most parts of this province, especially over the southwestern parts. Tabazim expected to peak at 31, 26, and Polokwane and Mokopane will also be warm at a maximum of 28 degrees. In Mpumalanga, quite hot over most parts of the northern areas, covering the low felts. Kukuza peaking at 30, will be cool Mashishing at a maximum of 24. However, Secunda will also be warm at a maximum of 27 degrees. In KwaZulu-Natal, we're expecting hot conditions over most parts of the western areas. Umnandi is expected to peak at 31 degrees, Kokstad 26, but remain cool over most parts of the coastal areas. But Durban will be warm at a maximum of 25 degrees. In the Eastern Cape province, they're expecting warm conditions over most parts of the central and southern parts, but hot in the northern areas, with Umba is expected to peak at a maximum of 34 degrees. Over the southwestern areas, quite hot over the central parts of the Western Cape. Vozesta expected to reach a maximum of 33 degrees. However, to remain cool along the coastal areas, Cape Agala is peaking at 22, as well as in Hermanus with a maximum of 22 degrees. However, Cape Town will be warm at a maximum of 25. Quite hot in the northwestern areas, with Clan William expected to peak at a maximum of 32 degrees. In the Northern Cape province, we're expecting hot conditions over the northern parts, Uppington peaking at 36. Quite warm over the southern parts, with Sutherland's maximum reaching a maximum of 28 degrees. Now, in the central parts, we're expecting fine conditions over most parts of this province, with clear conditions over most parts of the afternoon. However, it will be hot over the southwestern parts. Forest Smith expected to peak at a maximum of 33 degrees, rather, Ripdam being 31, 32 in Bloemfontein. Warm in the northern parts, with Kroonstad peaking at 30. However, Bothaville will also be warm at a maximum of 31 degrees. Lastly, in our provinces, the Northwest province, expecting hot conditions over most parts of this province, especially over the western interior, as well as Tosca peaking at a maximum of 35. Remember, we're not expecting much more of precipitation. However, those felt fires are still expected due to conditions conducive. Dry over most parts of the central and the western parts, with some strong winds, which might result in some runaway fires. Will be hot in Vryburg with a maximum of 33. Taung will also peak at a maximum of 34. And that's it from our weather desk.